Third disease to treat: chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, is a chronic inflammatory lung disease that causes obstruction of the airflow in the lungs. Symptoms include shortness of breath, coughing, mucus, sputum production, and wheezing. It is typically caused by long-term exposure to irritating gases or particulate matter, most often from cigarette smoke. Tobacco smoke has the ability to produce oxidative stress, to alter the protus-antiprotus balance, and to activate the inflammatory response, mainly that of polymorphonuclear cells and macrophages. All these phenomena, traditionally implicated in the pathogenesis of COPD. The chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is one of the most prevalent diseases in the general population. It is more frequent in men, due to their greater exposure to tobacco, although it is increasing in women in recent years, as a consequence of the increase in the proportion of smokers, and also because women in low-income countries tend to be more exposed to the air polluted indoors from solid fuels used for cooking and heating. The disease now affects both sexes almost equally. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease clinic: shortness of breath, especially during physical activity, wheezing, chest tightness, a chronic cough that can produce mucus, sputum, that can be clear, white, yellow, or greenish, frequent respiratory infections, lack of energy, unintentional weight loss in later stages, swelling in the ankles, feet, or legs. People with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease are also likely to experience episodes called exacerbations, during which their symptoms worsen relative to the usual daily variation and persist for at least several days. Causes of airway obstruction: emphysema, chronic bronchitis, cigarette smoke and other irritants, and alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. Emphysema. This lung disease causes the destruction of the fragile walls and elastic fibers of the alveoli. The small airways collapse when you exhale, affecting the flow of air out of the lungs. Chronic bronchitis. With this condition, the bronchial tubes become inflamed and narrowed, and the lungs produce more mucus, which can further block the narrowed tubes. You develop a chronic cough to try to clear your airways. Cigarette smoke and other irritants. The lung damage that triggers the disease is a consequence of having smoked cigarettes for a long time. But it is likely that there are also other factors involved in development, such as genetic susceptibility, because not all smokers develop it. Other irritants can cause chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, including cigarette smoke, secondhand smoke, pipe smoke, environmental pollution, and exposure in the workplace to toxic dust, smoke, or gases.